Blitzin with Blitch. Loving it. We're inside today. Pre-food.
Yes,
We're not getting the food right now. That's coming from Temple Baptist Church this week. Well, how great is it that the community reaches out like that?
It's been awesome. It's been a great thing for us this year, making sure especially our boys are all fed. You just never know. I mean, with guys in different atmospheres and stuff, we're not getting meals every time, lunch, dinner, and breakfast, all that. So it's good for us.
If your company wants to sponsor a meal next week, we're back at home at the St. Benedict's community room out there in their gym. You can sponsor that. The last week, we're at St. Benedict's. They're taking care of that. But then it's looking like we're heading to playoffs, so we need some more meal sponsors coming on.
Yeah, it's getting that way.
Bring it. You can cook it or you can buy it. We don't care. We just want it to be healthy for our boys. And man, you know, last week was a great example of the camaraderie that this team is building. I saw Jay Hunt get out there. I hadn't seen much of him all year. He seemed to play a great job, as a lot of these guys who haven't seen a lot of time, they're really coming around. It's exciting.
He did. It's been a great thing this year. Like I said, early on in the season, we had that. A lot of the guys missed the whole linebacking core out. We had the undiscovered depth out there, created it by finding young guys, see what they could get, throwing them out there, kind of threw them to the wolves, you know, pun intended. And then the last few weeks, we really discovered some new guys that have been playing really well in the JV scene. Jaden Hunt's been one of those guys. You always know when you got a guy at the JV, we say if he's a varsity player, he should jump off the field. He should look dominant out there against the other guys. And Jaden Hunt has this season in the JV. And so he slowly worked his way up in the rotation. And then we had Xavier get banged up, and a couple guys hurt it the week before at Coweta. Threw Jaden out there, played really well, kept him out there, finished the game, found himself practicing well, ended up in the starting role heading into Durant, and locked down that side of the field for us. So
boy, I love seeing that. And one of those early season finds, Nolan Ward, man, he's been jumping off the field now at the varsity level.
Yeah, he's been awesome all year. Like, he's I think he's third or fourth on a team in tackles right now, and there's been a couple games where, like, because of what we're doing schematically, like, he wouldn't get a lot of snaps, but he's still up there. He's just productive every time he's on the field. Sophomore, I mean, just, you know, playing beyond his age, and that's just exciting. That's exciting for us because we started the year senior heavy on the defensive side of the ball, and as a staff, we're talking about, man, we're gonna have a huge turnover next year, and now we're at the point where we've got sometimes 7 and 8 underclassmen out there, all going to be coming back next year. So we're in a really good spot, we feel, for the future with this core guys we have, especially the sophomores and freshmen.
Well, one senior that's not coming off the field, Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw, 3 turnovers. Yeah,
3 of them.
3 takeaways for us. Had 2 interceptions. One of them got the inadvertent whistle, which may have been a pick 6, 99-yarder, 100-yarder. So never know now. Pretty upset about that. But that came up with the fumble. Him and Nolan got the guy. Dace came up with the ball, and then Dace had another pick. So, I mean, 2 interceptions and a fumble. It's 3 takeaways. It's huge for us. It's a big thing for us defensively. We hadn't had a turnover the week prior. So that was a big thing. So really, and then again, going back, Booker T didn't have a turnover. So that was the big thing. We've been, hey, let's get back on the turnover train. Let's start getting some takeaways. So that was huge for us. Get out there. Had the turnover belt out there the other night. So they're pretty excited about that. Getting to show that off. So
turnover belt. Tell us what that is.
Oh, we got it's a wrestling belt, turnover belt. It says Shawnee Wolves on it. It's white, and it's emblazoned with the navy blue out there, and it's got defense on it and all this. So they're pretty excited about it.
Okay, so at each turnover, we can send Michelle over there, and we can get a picture of the dude with the turnover belt.
Absolutely.
Should we do that during the game, or is that a distraction to the boys?
Get a quick one on the side, maybe, with the guy. As long as he's not a two-way guy. Depends what he's got going on. You know, if it's a takeaway, you know. Because Madonna may get onto it, I may not say too much. You know, let him get theirs real quick.
He doesn't watch this anyway, man. It doesn't matter. But talking about who watches this, I think I met the people who consistently watch this broadcast further away than anybody else. If you guys aren't further away than Virginia, I don't want you to respond in this. But if you think you're further away than Virginia, that's Virginia, USA on the East Coast, I want you to respond because you might get a gift of some sort. But if not, I think it's your family, dude.
Yeah, my family, they flew out. They got to be at this game. You know, they kind of come one game a year, so they were out here for this last one. And, they watch all out in Virginia. My mom's, you know, your biggest fan. Like, she's like, I've got to meet Daniel.
Well, we're blitzing with Blitch right here.
She's like, where is he? She's
the
like,
Blitches.
Yeah, all of them. Whole clan came. She's like, I want to meet Daniel Shaughnessy. That was her bucket list item when she's out here. But they love the production. They watched the games all last year, all the ShawneeCTV stuff. I mean, it's huge for them to see it. And then I got family down in Florida that watch as well. So it's They're all over the country.
So it might be a Blitch competition as to who's furthest away.
Yeah, they're all
I love
around
it. You'll have to help me with what that reward needs to be.
Yes, sir. We'll do that.
All right, when we come back, we did have a stellar MVP. We're going to bring him on next. You're watching Blitzin with Blitch on ShawneeCTV, where together, all of us, Shawnee, we build community one season at a time.
Experience the wholesome goodness of St. Gregory's Abbey. Our monks raise healthy, pasture-raised beef, free from antibiotics and hormones. Available in the Monks Marketplace inside the front monastery doors every Tuesday through Saturday.
A&S Roofing. Quality roofing built to last. Dedicated to high-quality work, pays attention to the details. So get started on your roofing project today with A&S Commercial and Residential Roofing and Contracting. Air Force One Heat and Air Conditioning offers competitive pricing, licensed technicians, and over 25 years of experience. Air Force One is a hometown company. Contact Tim or Terry Muirhead with Air Force One. At McElroy and Owens Funeral Group, your loved one never leaves our care. From your first phone call at the time of loss through final resting, we are with you. Stop by McElroy and Owens for a visit today. It's Sonic Good at all 4 of our Shawnee locations. Great food, great fun, the best hamburgers in town. Keeps everybody smiling. Parties or gatherings, there's room for everyone. It's always a good time, Sonic good time, at our Shawnee Sonics. We are back, Blitzin with Blitch, and we ran him out of the room for a second because I want to talk to MVP Lance Williams. First of all, Lance, I don't think that we've ever given an MVP to a punter.
You did last year. It was Carl Albert's game.
Was that you again?
Yeah,
but I think that was like an 80-0 game, and we just had to, we kind of had to lose it.
Yeah.
You had more playing time than anybody else on the field that night as our punter. And you were playing defensive end.
It was a problem last year.
It was a problem. It's much better this year. And you know, we talked a little bit after the game. If you want to go catch up with that interview, Madonna's interview after the game, we talked with Lance a little bit about the punting. But I came away from that, and I really felt like I wanted to talk to you about something else, something that I believe is very important in your life, and I'd just like to give you the opportunity to share. But your leadership ability, where do you feel that it stems from in how you lead, Lance Williams?
I think it comes from my relationship with God that I have. That I'm not very loud. I'm kind of like my dad, very quiet. But God gives me the words to speak when I need to pick somebody up or just what to say. And yeah.
How long have how long have you had this talent, or how long have you been doing that?
For a while now. I mean, I've had a relationship with God for most of my life, as long as I can remember. And just growing in my faith with him has definitely helped me, and helping everybody else here.
Well, I believe that. That's a huge part of my life. When you say, God gives you the word or that kind of thing, describe that for us, Lance. I mean, how could somebody follow that? How could they know that God is talking to them, or how do you know when God's talking to you?
Well, I mean, you gotta have a relationship with him first. I mean, once you have that, once you kind of get in tune, some people say, with God, once you have that faith with him and you walk with him daily, you can start to understand when he's talking to you, what he's telling you to say. Because, I mean, when you're spending time with him in his word and praying and doing the things that the Bible tells us to do, then you begin to hear him, because, I mean, every step of the day you're listening to him telling you what to say. And he kind of just gives you what to say. It comes to your head. You're just like, I'm going to say this.
Man, I admire that. I think that gives you such a strength about you that comes out on the field. Would you say that relationship also helps you, like when you're playing defensive line or linebacker or cornerback or safety or linebacker, wherever they've got you playing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely keeps me level-headed when I'm playing, so I don't get mad. I don't know why, I just don't get angry when I play. I definitely try my best not to get mad, but I think it definitely helps me just stand out differently to people. Just being that kinder person out on the field, like playing, helping people up, and making sure they're okay, instead of talking bad about them or talking down on them.
That totally makes sense. So last week, your only responsibilities were punting, and you gained the MVP. The way in which you're able to flip the field, you weren't feeling that good last week during practice, and also you had some hinderings. I'm interested. Are you going to be back on the defensive side of the ball? Do you know if you are against Edison? Where are we at midweek on that?
I don't necessarily know yet. It'll just depend how I'm feeling tomorrow. We'll just see.
Yeah, we will. And you know what we get to say? It's going to be a game time decision. Kind of like that. It's going to be a game time decision. I don't know that I've been able to announce that to the crowd in all my years I've been doing this, Lance. Congratulations, man. MVP on the Durant game. And that is the BB Woodworks MVP, Lance Williams, Durant 2024. Do you want an easy car buying experience? Caster Keys on Harrison. No hidden fees, no price gimmicks. Caster Key Auto Mart for a fair and convenient car buying experience. Hardesty Market in Delaware, a real butcher shop for over 80 years. Daily lunch specials just like Mom used to make. Best cuts of meat and even better people. Your family at Hardesty Market in Delhi. For 25 years, Eric's has served you and your family for all your prescription needs. Eric and his staff love the community and love seeing you in the store conveniently located on North Kickapoo. Make your day brighter by visiting Eric's today.
For over 50 years, Fred's Tire and Battery has served Central Oklahoma with tires, batteries, and service for cars, trucks, and tractors. Friendly and affordable, with 2 locations in Shawnee. Fred's Tire and Battery, a name you can trust.
We are back, and now we got Coach back. Man, Lance is a winner.
Absolutely. He's an awesome kid for us. His thing is he's a leader on and off the field, just constant professional, everything he does. Like, not always the most vocal guy. He leads through action. I mean, he's, first one in, last one to leave, just workout warrior in the weight room. Just loves to get on the weights out there. Did well in the powerlifting this season. Had our first powerlifting season this past spring. He did an awesome job with it. He's just a great kid.
Well, coming into a bunch of great kids, heading up to Tulsa Edison this week. Coach, what do we have to look forward to from the Edison Eagles?
Heading up to Edison this week, it's a unique week for us. Not only is it a road game, which we're trying to get better on the road. We got that Coweta win a couple weeks ago, trying to improve our road record this year. Coming out there, it's going to be a Thursday night game, so that'll be interesting for us, getting out there on a short turnaround, having Friday school the next day. Going up there, Edison, they're 1-6 right now. They're kind of in the rebuild mode where we were last season, trying to get their feet wet up there, get on the right side of the ball with everything. Coach Borgstaff, I think, still the head coach up there. He's a real good coach, good pedigree. He was coach at Sepulpa prior to that, I believe, and they had some good D1 kids come out of there. So they've got a good foundation out there. They're just a young team. They're trying to get better. They're going to come out. They're going to try to run the ball. They've got some good, counter GT stuff they'll do. Some unique formations that, we just haven't seen a ton this year. Some like tight bunch stuff, some quads, things like that, quads, diamonds. So it'll be a good test for us to make sure alignment is sound like that. Biggest battle for us, I think, right now is going to be, again, always health and nutrition for us. So we're trying to make sure we get healthy and make sure we have guys in the right spot. Hopefully, we get Toby Gray be back this week. Off the
big addition.
Yep, off the protocol, so he'll be back. We just trying to see what happened. We found out a little bit ago. We had some kids getting a little small fender bender car wreck not long ago. About 4 of the guys are in a car during lunchtime, so we're trying to figure out what's happening with that. So, we're going to figure that out over the next 24, 36 hours, see where we're at. I think Xavier's still out. We'll have to see. Lance been battling a little bit of an injury, so that's why he's kind of just punting, not playing defense last week. So, and then Ryan's been kind of nursing some injuries. Jameer, so it's plug and play. That's going to be the same thing we've done all season. We're going to find out what we got available for us Thursday night. We'll know Thursday afternoon, and we're just going to get the best 11 out there we can and go play some football and see what happens.
So last week you made some adjustments. Jay Hunt, you did some things with Garrett that were a little bit different because of the style you knew coming in with Durant. Yeah. What kind of style is Edison going to hit that we really are going to have to be prepared for?
So they want to run the ball again. Similar to Durant, they don't run the buck sweep, but they will run some GT stuff, that guard tackle pull set. Stylistically, schematically, will probably come out had one thing in vision due to with the injuries where we're at, we may be similar to last week, kind of using a little tight front, 4-eye, 0-4-eye, jumping into a 4-man front like we did last week. So probably similar game plan. Don't recreate the wheel, especially on a short week. We don't limited practice time, and with so many guys out right now, we don't really know who's going to be the pieces we have to play with. So we're probably just going to stay what we do best and, not do anything too wild and go out there and see what we got.
So how about those guys up front? We got Wasana, we got Joyner, we got Skelton, we got Favors, we got Choate, we got a lot of guys up front that are playing pretty well.
We do, and that's been a big thing for us.
And who'd I leave out? I could have left some people out.
Case Childer's been banged up a little bit. I think you got him on there, but yeah. Skelton's been the anchor for us. Logan, sophomore, he's been just a key for us this year, just anchoring down. We move him across that front really well. Keaton Choate has been another sophomore addition at breakout season. Logan got his feet wet last year at varsity level. He started about half the year, rotated in and out the whole time. This was Keaton Choate's first time. Had a broken foot last year. Only got like one freshman game. Didn't play his whole freshman year. But 6'3", 230. We had him at nose last week, anchoring down, splitting double teams out there. He's been a force. Again, Jamar Favors back healthy, back in the mix last week. Had him in 4-eye splitting doubles, and
you could tell the difference when Jamar was in there.
He is. Jamar's a penetrator. So Logan does a really good job. He's strong as an ox, and he can just anchor down. Jamar's not quite as strong as Logan, but he's quick-footed. So Jamar does really good job with his size, that quick first step, using that strength he does have, the split after he gets that penetration, he gets in the backfield. And we kind of make sure we try to put those guys understanding that in unique situations where, hey, you'll probably get a one-on-one. If they do double, you kind of put this in a 4-eye slant, so they're not going to really get a full seal on you and use that speed and strength to split. Whereas a guy like Logan and even Choate, we put them in, hey, you're going to get doubled.
Joyner's the same way. You can tell the attention that DeMario is getting from the other side when he lines up at that deep.
DeMario's got a heck of a swim move. He's got a swim and a rip move where he'll hit it quick on it. No-coast, just a high motor. No-coast, we can actually play. He plays so hard. We don't ever have any concerns playing him inside, even though he's not quite the size those other three we just mentioned. We'll put him inside, and he fires off the ball so fast and so hard. He does a great job just getting penetration, even being a little undersized. But he's one we can put all across the front. Typically keep Jamar and Logan interior guys. Choate's one we can put on the edge some. We like him, and we didn't know if he'd be up for the task of playing the inside as well as he has this year. We thought maybe he needs to be a 5 technique, which is outside the tackles a lot this year. Turns out this kid's ready. He's
MVP.
Yeah. So we put him in there. He's been between the tackles, and we've gone from 4-eye, 3-0s, 1s all season with him. The further along we've gotten, the more we've realized it's a different mentality thing. For a guy to be inside the trenches and just take on doubles all night, knowing, hey, you're probably not going to make the play. You're going to make the play, but you're not going to get the tackle or the stat. You got to buy in for it. For a young kid being a sophomore, we knew Logan kind of got with it last year a little bit. Weren't sure with Keaton yet what if he was going to be ready for that that responsibility and not getting a lot of the acclamation praise. Get it from us, far people watching, not a lot of stats,
right.
But going out there making that what it is. But he's really bought into that role. You've got to be a nasty tough guy to do that. Sit there.
Well, somebody who came in nasty and tough, Jameer. It's great to see Jameer getting healthy, and he's really coming into his own, and he is solidifying that outside backer spot for you.
He had an awesome game last week. He came in, played really well. He was spiking on their buck sweeps when they're trying to run that. We're concerned on that. Pressing the bunch trips out there, just being physical. The biggest thing with Jameer is not only does he have the speed of a DB, he's got the physicality of a linebacker. So he's a lot more physical than most of the guys we have as far as play in, play out. Dace always going to have that big hit mentality because he flies around. Jameer is just so strong, though, for a defensive back type. So him playing that Rob, we call it Rob backer, but it's more of a Rob. It's a dog safety for us, box safety. He's done a really good job with that. And last week, he really got to flourish, I think, in that role with the run game. They're trying to do hitting outside. He got to use that strength to set the edge, be a force player for us. He had 4 TFLs last week.
Yeah.
Which is huge. So,
he was setting that edge.
He was.
And when they tried to beat him, he tackled. He made the tackle. He got off his block and made the tackle. And we're talking about a quarterback at sophomore and junior years, 2 of the toughest years we've seen Shawnee football come through in the last 2 decades. Jameer was giving it up, and he wasn't playing his best position is what we see as a senior.
He came in. So when we first came in here, when I came down, I watched film before I took the job, and I looked at guys, and I saw right off the bat, I said, well, this kid here is I don't think he's wearing 2 at the time, but it was Jameer Owens, best tackler on the back end. I was like, this is the DB that I can utilize for that Rob role, great tackler. Obviously, Zyron had the foot injury, didn't have a quarterback, happened right before season started. Jameer had to slide into that role, play quarterback, true leader, stepped into that role. Coach, I got this. I'll do it for you. Wasn't the plan, didn't have all those reps in the spring, summertime because of an emergency situation, took over that. So really didn't get an opportunity to play the defensive side of the ball until now, again, his senior year. So it's our first opportunity as a defensive staff to really get our hands on him this year. Now he's getting healthier, he's getting out there. We banged up a little bit at one point, worried it was going to be like the same kind of shoulder thing. Wasn't, got back out there, said, Coach, I'm ready. So that was a big relief for us. So
it really was, and that's a great transition. I want to ask you as a defensive coach, our quarterback, Zyron, I think I've seen in a season of growth, more growth from start to where we are just after midseason than I've ever seen in any of our quarterbacks in the last 22 years that I've done this. I mean, there were better quarterbacks, don't get me wrong, but they started better. Zyron Campbell right now, I think, presents a lot of hardships for coaches that we're going to be facing towards the end of the season. As a defensive coach, I'd like to hear your opinion on that.
It's a tough matchup for people. I mean, he's not only does he have obviously athleticism and he's got the wheels, he can take off running, which we saw big 4th down early in the game. Went forth as 4th and 4.
And he put his shoulder down and he got 4 more yards. I love it.
And that was huge for us. I mean, that in my opinion set the momentum. We had a long drive. It was double-digit play drive out there. I don't think we ended up capitalizing on the score at the end of it, but that drive I thought set the tone for the entire game. So we got off the field defensively, had that long drive, converted a 4th down conversion early in that drive, routed off another 10 dozen plays after that. That wears down their defense, and they got a lot of two-way guys on that defensive line that also play O-line. So the fact that they were out there so gassed, we had some good tempo, quick passes, quick run game stuff. They couldn't sub a lot. Got them gassed, so now they're worn down not only defensively but some of their offensive linemen. So I think that really set the tone for us. And his decision making, that was the biggest thing. You saw him with the pump fakes. It's the little, each quarterback has their own little idiosyncrasies that kind of make them unique in what they do. He's really blossomed, I think, in picking up these things he's developed with Coach Brown and Coach Madonna, and he's really kind of blossomed the things he's going to do that makes him great. I think he's got a really good pump fake, and his cannon arm is a huge threat for teams. He can put it 65 yards on a rope from the pocket. So even if you're doing underneath stuff, if he makes one guy miss with his elusiveness, which he's capable of, he can fire that thing to the end zone from other side of the field. So that's a huge threat. As a defensive guy, you've got to worry about, hey, we've got to be in coverage constantly. We can't break down. Now you're worried about if you're in man coverage and you're running off. If you don't have contained from the defensive line, he gets outside it. Our backs are turning man. He's going to run for 15, 25, 30 yards. You try to zone action it, you get one guy looking in the backfield or slipping in their zone coverage, not dropping, he can throw it over top and he can take the top off the defense. So he's a huge threat offensively for what he's been doing. And as he's getting more comfortable, we've got more weapons involved. He's slowly just growing in that role and becoming a leader out there. It's going to be dynamic for him, especially this year next.
Well, if you like the Shawnee brand, as Dax likes to say, now is the time to get out. Thursday night, Edison. It's a fun ride to Tulsa all the time. Get you something to eat on your way, or actually I like you get something to eat in town. Spend your money here before you leave, but enjoy it with your family. Digest your food on the way up there. Some can get the naps in the back, but we need you at LaFortune Park this Thursday night.
Yes, sir.
No, not yet.
Invitation
time.
Coming out. It's a road game. We traveled really well at Coweta. You never know in these distance games. I know we're going to Tulsa. It's going to be huge for us to have that support out there. This is another big step towards what we're trying to do in this journey is lock in a playoff spot. So this is a big one for us. These next 3 weeks are going to be huge. We need guys out there, support these boys, rally for them out there so they know they've got the community behind them, even on the road from a distance.
Loud and proud with the Blitches, because they'll be tuning in from Virginia and maybe from Florida.
That's
I think we got some from California too. I need to hear, and then we can kind of measure. Yeah. But we want to know if you think you're further away than Virginia. Gotta let us know. Man, how much fun it is to do this with Coach Mike Blitch, as each week we go blitzing with Blitch right here on ShawneeCTV. Watch live. Now's the time, Rob.
Thank you, sir.